Rightio, so we've got the next section. Oh yes, the sheriff is in town, of course. We have got a lot of shiny cars up this side, so I'll make my way around. Crown Vic. Big old barges, these. Big old barges. I don't think he's recovering. The Audi stand. Don't we just love... Oh, it's the Quattro version. The Audi 100 Avant Quattro Turbo. Yeah. I don't remember seeing... that's weird. That is... Is that right? Oh my God. Only 5 came to the UK between 89 and 91. It's been with the same owner for 23 years. Ooh. That must be probably the only one left then. A4 Cabriolet. It's got quite a few over here. Beautiful car. An Audi Coupe S automatic as well. Ooh. Audi Coupe S automatic. A coupe, an automatic coupe. Wow, that's definitely Andrew's style car, that is. And lovely Audi Coupe 2.3. Naturally, I've seen so many Quattros that I could lay my fist on. Now, Toyota Celica, going across now. I am sort of merging around, guys, so I'm kind of doing a sort of zigzaggy thing, so it's quite random, and I think you like it random. You don't know what's coming next. Toyota Starlet, the original Toyota Starlet. Nothing wrong with these. Bulletproof mechanics. 2CV over here with the 2CV club. Diane. Don't know about the square headlamps on them. Well, this is really interesting. So if you've got storage issues for your car, just drive it in there, come in there, and you've got a door here, and you've got 2. So if you've got 2 cars, yeah, there's a lot of storage solutions. This has already been sold. It's an ex-display. Protect your Classic. The problem is, yeah, that's going to need some serious compressor to keep this. Oh, you've got some airflow as well. There's all sorts of storage solutions for your Classic, and there are a lot of companies out there that see the right sort of product to produce. I think this is ideal, but the problem is, and this is my issue, I don't own my property, I rent, and my landlord will not be happy with me putting something like this up. But also, I'm not being funny, these things look amazing on this show, but in practical sense, are they practical? Because for me, if you have something like this on the driver, and if this is not see-through, it's like that one, right? I'm not being funny. If anybody has one of them on the driveway, you're just going to invite people who are going to be, basically you're going to invite opportunists and yeah, unwanted activity. Plus, you don't know if somebody's in there messing about with your car if you can't see in. With this, you can see in, but people can also see your car. So, bit of a funny one, that one. It doesn't work in practical senses. Oh dear, too much. Loads of trim materials, so you can carpet set sheets. Oh dear. This is regalia. I've got to be very careful of this section, because we know how bad this section can get if you need things from anything from rolls and pressure washers, all sorts of products. Rusty is a good product for rust removing, by the way. Oh yeah, that's where I got my display for my garage. You've got all sorts of paraphernalia down here for every sort of part you can ever imagine, from sort of vintage wiper blades to steering wheels and all sorts of really hard to get bits, especially Ford stuff. I'm going to keep an eye on for Ford stuff. Badges, everything you could want. You have to be extremely careful because you can actually pay probably 5-6 times the amount of your ticket price on bits and pieces. So, you know when I said about not buying things? Well, I don't usually expect to buy any parts on this place. I've only bought things like new old stock wiper blades, that sort of thing, particularly when I owned my P6. And then I saw a Ford stand just over here, and I was looking at Fiesta Mark III parts because I noticed there were quite a few there. And I managed to buy a part for Ruby. Oh yes, this. Oh yes, new old stock distributor. I tell you what, the only thing I said to people, the people that have watched that video, there's a little bit of play in the distributor that I've noticed, and while the clamps has snapped, so it's not ideal. This one, new old stock, new vacuum advanced module, no play in that whatsoever, 25 quid. I literally stole it. And this is why you come to places like this. Now I can actually get the Fiesta working even better on the timing. I'm chuffed with that. Anyway, that's my day done with the buying spree, because I did bring some cash and luckily that covered it. But there's no more things now, there's no more cash. Just reverse you around, and I've had a look at brochures and everything. There's not too much. There's a lot of pre-80s stuff here. But look at the Fiesta is in the sort of age bracket where you start to notice things that are cropping up all over the place. Again, this is another Ford parts stand. Mark II Fiesta parts. Yeah, there's quite a few bits and pieces here. Oh, Mark II Escort. Oh yes. Wow, Mark I Escort wiring looms. We know how hard to come by they are. I'll tell you something, I would actually have one rebuilt. If you could get the correct wiring loom, you could go to a manufacturer who could actually make you one. There's a lot of door mirrors. I can't see Fiesta Mark III door mirrors, but there's a lot of Escort stuff here. Binnacles, steering wheel, Sierra stuff as well. Brilliant. This is the kind of stuff that makes and breaks cars, especially stuff like the veneer. Okay, right, you won't know this, but after about 45 minutes of trolling through and finding a few bits and pieces, clips and not what, particularly for Ruby, now I'll fit cars again. Okay, so I'm going to proceed to go backwards from here. We've got the Volvo section. Volvo Amazon. There's one locally to me. I love the Amazon. Very, very well built car indeed. This one's got overdrive. It's a 131 with overdrive, 1970, and Z-barted from new. Not surprised it exists then. Ooh, 544. This is a bit of a rare commodity because it's obviously mostly sold in America. Volvo 145, solid built machines these are. The estate on this one. 164, look at that. Oh, this has had some engine work. Nice new cam cover. It's had a bit of servicing down there. Twin carbs. Strombergs by the look of it. Yep, Strombergs. Beautiful. Strombergs are very similar to SUs. They've got a sort of diaphragm instead of not just a piston, but they've got a diaphragm as well inside. Oh, 1800s are very nice. C70 Mark 1s, we're starting to see a lot of C70s on the scene, modern classic, and people are recognising that they are extremely well built cars. Another Amazon here. which has extensively rebuilt underneath the bonnet. Another Amazon that's been finished in this sort of two-tone khaki sort of camouflage sort of colour, but they've retained the white roof. Interesting. Oh, we have a large Saab section over here. Always do like a good Saab 2.3 turbo 95. Got the Aero over here. Has all the elements of GM, but Saab put their touch on it. Still a nice interior, just saying. So a 93X, a 99 GLE. Oh yes, do love a good 99. This one should be in the barn find section, but it isn't. Slant 4 engine, as we all know, as Triumph people will know. Nice to see. Ooh, a 96 V4. Look how far forward the engine sits from the gearbox. Unbelievable configuration. Tiny, tiny little V6. Oh yeah. We've got quite a few cars. 93B Saab here. MGBs, almond, tobacco leaf. Austin over here. There is a restoration, a live restoration. I presume that this is about sanding and painting, something of a dying art.
It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller.
I'm really glad that I don't have to go to that length with my fuel tank. Well, not at the moment anyway. Welders, so there's lots of advice and products. Most of it you can learn yourself. And I'm still in the process of learning how to weld myself. Some lovely Audis here. So just walk down here. There is another place. Oh, this is nice. Look how close the front of the engine comes to the front of an Audi Quattro. As it was found. Longstone Classic tyres. If you want tyres for your Classic and it is so desirable that you can afford to spend on pretty much copies of what would have originally been standard, yes, this is the place to come. You can smell the rubber. I did have a look at this in my P6 many years ago, but the cost of the tyres was extortionate, but you get what you pay for. If you want the OEM look, if it's that desirable, yeah, absolutely. If your car is worth 20-30 grand, but if it's only a few £1,000s, you know what I mean? Gotta be careful about that. Some VWs. Ooh, MR2. MR2 Mark 1 suddenly disappeared a few years ago and are extremely desirable. They do like to rust though, as evidenced in these sort of corners down here. Oh, Carrada that's being worked on. Probably suspension components by the look of things. This is nothing. This amount of tools is just a normal day of work on an old car. You sort of think, oh, I only need so many tools to do this, and then you end up dragging your whole house out to do one job because things have gone pear-shaped, as usual. I love a Corrado. Looks so different in the 90s to any other car, and fully deserving of my attention. Scirocco's, and then, ooh, yeah, very nice indeed. But oh my goodness me, this is something I never expected to see. A Yugo Sana, the only surviving Yugo Sana GL in the UK. Remember when all the well, it was basically down to quite a few things, but it failed to make an impression on the market. Unfortunately, the whole thing went pear-shaped because the company got caught in a slight war. Made in Yugoslavia, there, quite a few of it. It's still all intact. It's when electronics was starting to come into its own, but quite decent engines, Fiat engine. Very decent engines indeed. They borrowed a lot of their running gear from Fiat. Very, very tidy and very complete under here. Getting bits and pieces to this is incredibly difficult. Really nice to see. In fact, I'll just come round here. Goodness me, that is cheap. Cheap, but probably extremely functional. Some Schimetas. We've got a few other cars around here. It's hard to know what to point the camera at. Except now we've entered the tool section. Well, that's okay because I've run out of money. Fantastic. That's a guarantee you're not going to spend anything. Bring no money, run out of money. You could spend a fortune in this place, but I think it's a rather cautious tale of when you come to one of these events, don't get carried away about spending money on things you really don't need. And I'll tell you on my channel what you need and what you don't need, and most of this you don't need. Classic Mini restoration. You don't stop with Minis, do you? You just completely rebuild them until they're not the same car that you started out with. I don't get that personally. Brilliant. A Maestro van, a 500, advertising dinner truck. Brilliant. That's a great advert, I have to say. Still earning its keep by the look of things. Superb. Right, that's part 1 million. Next part.